When we talk about the three R's, which I would like to refer to as the Trinity, there are important intersectionality conversations of each race. Racialization and racism that must be discussed, each of which are key markers to be explored. With that said, and with this in mind, our listeners will be interested in hearing how intersectionality has shaped your Black identity and personal growth. Welcome to the podcast, JJ Inks.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'd like to begin by sharing my lived experience within the context of race. I was born black, and I guess I enjoyed the innocence of youth as a child growing up in the UK. Though there were visible racial, ethnic, cultural, and religious differences amongst those I called my friends, those differences didn't really separate or harm, disenfranchise myself or others that looked like me during those early years. You know what? For the most part, kids were generally colorblind. We learned together, we played together, we laughed together. It wasn't until I got a little bit older and booked my ticket to high school in the UK and was able to see colours more clearly did I realise that race has its advantages and its disadvantages. Racialisation. Equity, diversity and inclusion suggest equal opportunity and attainment for all. Regrettably, we live in a world of the have and the have-nots, and those that have emphatically want to maintain that status quo, which leaves some people on the outside looking in, or sometimes just generally looking up. It must be said that opportunities exist for some, but not for all. Looking back, in the early 70s, I attended Sir William Herschel High School, and I did so as the only black student in the school until my younger sister and a few others joined me a couple of years later, and I could tell you my parents were well proud. No longer alone, we had to embrace our racial identity and subsequently became visible minorities, a characteristic or consequence better known as racialization, and became a catalyst for racism. Racism. Acknowledgement of different racial identities inspired power and privilege. I witnessed firsthand white male rage, which quickly blossomed throughout high school, which often left me defending my black body with all that I could, yet treading lightly, so lightly, so that not to offend the educators directly responsible for shaping my future. There were no teachers that looked like me in high school, and for a time, no students that looked like me either. Overt racist remarks were not encouraged, but were a daily occurrence. Nobody seemed to stop them. Microaggressive behavior by teachers was part of their DNA and easily transferred to their pedagogy as they no doubt found it difficult to dismiss or leave personal bias and prejudice at home or outside of the classroom. So yes, race, racialization, and racism has shaped my black male identity. The three R's trinity is always parked somewhere in the back of my mind. What you see today is a product of belief, inner strength, and commitment to move beyond the prejudice and bias that has existed and to some extent may still exist in an attempt to stifle black excellence in the UK and presumably other parts of the world, of which I will continue to challenge through education, awareness, and action. So thank you once again for inviting me and for allowing me to share my thoughts and feelings with you today.